There's also some other things that I'm going to be writing up a document about, making an announcement on also.
Of the DOJ.
I don't know if anyone else noticed, but in the new firearm legislation, you're only legally obliged to own one registered firearm.
I have a question.
Yeah, Jack, go ahead.
All right, what about the subs, aka marshals? What is that?
Justice Angel, I'm sure will like to come up here if she wouldn't mind at some point to give us a TLDR on some things, but I don't want to speak on everything. Okay. But do not use Bay's hard work as an excuse to not do your own, okay? Read, please.
Oh.
Thank you.
I'm gonna be
you want to come up here and touch on that, or you want to wait?
Thank you, Dakota.
Yeah, I can now.
Dakota, very good job.
Justice Angel, guys. Yeah, woohoo.
What the fuck?
I have more to add.
Shift
There's
to
a
one,
lot
shift to
more.
beef?
That
Sergeant
stuff.
violence.
I'm gonna.
Okay,
if Angel doesn't explain it all.
She had a fly going towards her.
Yeah, I've heard that excuse before.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah,
Hope you
no
guys are
problem,
doing well today, and I hope you all had a chance to review a lot of the stuff that we discussed yesterday and go over your new constitutional rights. I expect that a lot of you don't really quite understand the ramifications and the true depth of it all, and that's totally fine. You know, this is a lot to change, and this is going to be
shut the fuck
a
up
lot,
and listen to
and
this.
it's going
It's
to
the most important thing you'll ever have to listen to.
I would just like to remind you guys that in preparation for the new county mayors, we have removed a good portion of the previous legislation that was in place. So I can provide a full list if you guys would like to show you everything that was removed. And there is some basic stuff that was put in place. If there is any interim legislation that needs to be put in place to essentially ensure that your day-to-day job can continue, then we can go ahead and put that in place until the county mayors are here. So if there's any holes that we might have missed, any gaps, any things that you guys are concerned about, just call up a justice and we can discuss it and put it in. Yeah. So there's some discussion that we had with your high command yesterday, and they're gonna do most of the communication for us. But there is one specific legislation and piece of legislation that I would like to go over with you all in a bit more detail. If you all have not read it yet, it is called the Authorization of Non-Standard Government Enforcement Legislation, aka the Angel Act. This legislation essentially is going to be the creation and the foundational document for a third law enforcement office, an agency that will be operating throughout the entire state of San Andreas, commonly referred to as the San Andreas State Marshals. This is a police agency that will be under the purview of the Department of Justice, and it is responsible for investigating and prosecuting corruption of government officials, and that will include police departments. Now, there's a lot of specific details that you can view in there for yourself, but I'm going to just kind of TLDR a little bit for you all because there's important points that you guys need to understand.
Yeah.
If you guys break any laws or commit crimes, the San Andreas State Marshals are going to arrest you for it, and they will prosecute you for it. If you guys are committing corrupt acts or you're doing illegal things, they're also going to be on your tail for it. The State Marshals will also be responsible for providing a heightened level of security to the state as well as you guys' governmental buildings should another July 3rd incident occur. So, say for example, another 70 criminals try to storm the police department if you guys are being overrun. I reserve the rights to declare a state of emergency and roll out tanks, assault rifles, and other heavy equipment to stop the terroristic threat and bring it back under control, including bringing you guys into the enforcement measures. So this should be a very important measure to make sure that what happened on July 3rd does not happen again. And you guys could potentially be voluntold to suit up and take down these terrorists should that ever occur. What's up, Jack?
You going, Jipom? You going? Who's going?
Yeah, I'll go first. Hey, the last time they nationalized the police didn't really go well.
I don't remember that ever happening.
Is that a question?
I do. You were there.
Yeah, well, they were forced into service. This one is a volunteer, so...
Did you just say you were going to force us?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Listen, Jimbo.
You just said
This is called
Yeah,
voluntary.
volunteer.
You know?
You're
Strongly
It's
encouraged.
gonna be volunteer.
Well, you might want to... might want to clarify that.
I mean, I did. You'll be voluntold if you refuse
you're
to
already
do
the
service as
slave
a
to
law enforcement
government.
officer to protect people. You're probably gonna get fired, but you're not gonna be like jailed for it.
So you're gonna. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, what's up, Marcus?
So will the state marshals still have like day-to-day police duties, like patrol and all that shit?
No, they are not patrol officers. You will not see the state marshals roaming the streets and arresting criminals. The only thing that you might see them do on on the actual streets is they might issue citations to police officers if they're breaking the law. But that would not be done in a typical fashion.
I have a question.
Yeah, what's your question?
I have a question. The marshals gonna have like dedicated uniforms, liveries, or cars, or they're just gonna drive it?
Yes, the marshals will have their own police department. They will have their own. They won't have liveries or patrol vehicles because again, this is not a patrol division. It will be suit and tie professionals, with vests and badges, and they'll have unmarked vehicles. Again, they're not patrol units, so you shouldn't expect them to do patrol duties. They're not going to show up to any calls that you guys have. They're not going to show up and arrest criminals for you. They're not even going to show up to 78 calls if you guys are getting shot at on the street. The only time the marshals are really going to get involved is if it is a relevant investigation that they are currently conducting, or if you guys need 78 calls and you need high security response at a government building. You have another question, Jack?
Yeah, there is any possibility or device we're gonna have to like detect marshals like they're around, you know?
What?
What do you mean?
What?
What are you?
What?
Jack,
You want the
what
police?
the
You want the
fuck?
police
He
scanner
wants
for the
them.
He wants.
You fucking
He wants
dumb.
that blip.
Disregard that question, please.
Yeah,
No,
Jack, here's
I'll
the
answer
solution.
it.
Don't do anything wrong.
I mean,
You have
you'll
nothing
see
to
them
worry
on the
about.
GPS probably whenever they're signed on duty. It's not like they're gonna be like super invisible. I will mention.
okay.
I will mention though, just because I am a firm believer in transparency, and I think that it's important that you guys are aware of this. If the marshals
My God, I
have
love Angel
a
so much.
cause to believe that there's some level of corruption going on, they will have full authorization to use surveillance equipment that is not commonly available to any entity
Oh.
in the state to review calls and pull up further information about people. That doesn't mean that they can just. I know that some people might think I'm saying they can review body cam footage. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that they might be able to wiretap you or hack your devices or do other
What
things
the
like that legally. So, yes, Jack.
How could you possibly have more
With,
questions about this?
with approval of marshal, can I have access to these devices?
No, you
or-
may not. No,
Hell-
you may not.
Hell no. Hell no.
No.
Hell
No.
fucking
No.
never.
Access to RC cars.
No, but the
Damn it.
marshals will very likely reach out to CIB, and we will talk with them about potentially sharing these tools with them if it could be useful for their investigations. Yes,
Can we have the marshals investigate Jack Voss, please?
of course.
Wait, what?
Of course, we can look into Jack.
CIB is already
Dang,
investigating
Jack.
Jack
This
Frost.
guy Jack already
What?
takes
Can I-
people.
can I,
He wants to hit people's
wait,
fucking
can-
focus.
Can I be a marshal?
I'm going to start recruiting in the coming weeks. You can probably show up to do some interviews if you want.